How does AI work out whether a writer actually knows what they're talking about? I mean, it's a pretty broad question, but there are a few things that again, there are 1,000,001 signs and triggers that it's like, but I think the most important and interesting one for me around particularly AI search, GEO, whatever you want to call it, is this thing called query fan out. We've talked previously about how when you create content specifically for AI search, it's all very modular, it's all very question and answer, it's about clean, crisp answers to specific questions. Now, if you think about it just in isolation, you ask a single question to ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, there might be 1,000,000 websites that have a direct answer to this specific question. How does it know which one, or 2, 3 at the very most, to recommend to you? Well, it's got to look for other signals around the subject matter. It likes topical authority. So if you've got a direct answer to this question, but then it does this query fan out, which basically means what are all of the related questions to this specific query that a user might ask next. We've all been there and having a conversation with an AI bot where it then says, it asks you an additional question after it's answered it, because it wants to continue that conversation. It wants sources that can answer all these subsequent questions and provide you with as much value as possible. So really what you need to be doing for a website is to be publishing not only answers to specific queries, but also related queries and ranking for those fan outs so that you can generate more citations and therefore more AI search traffic. For specific human writers, how does it validate whether you're somebody to be trusted? Well, it validates sources. It acts a lot more like an investigative journalist than a search engine. If it sees that an author, first of all, always name your authors wherever possible, because it gives it the validation of this is from a human being. But if you then link that out to somebody's LinkedIn profile or their professional profile or their bibliography or whatever that may be, then it's going to show that, well, actually, now that I look another step further, because it can do this in a fraction of a second, I now know that this is an authoritative writer. Say it's a health niche, or your money or your life niche, or something like that. If it can trace back that you are a medical professional with 20 years experience who has written 6,000 articles on this very subject, that means a lot more than if your author name is just listed as admin. And I think, again, it's all just about building out a full picture, because it can pull the full picture of all of the information that's available on the internet in a handful of seconds. It's not about the user deciding whether or not to follow up on these things. You have to basically build a case for yourself that an AI can go out and pull back in seconds. And the way you do that is by putting all of your cards on the table and showing why you are a trusted source in all of these different